Good afternoon from the Red Mic. I saw an article a while back, and it was actually a question that FUBU investor, founder, and Shark Tank guy, Daymond John, said he likes to spring on applicants. What's ever happened to you that was beyond your control after you were 15 years old? Well, here's my long answer. I ran district operations and communications for my state senator up in Wichita Falls. I kind of like a deputy chief of staff. I mean, I was in charge of the district. We had part or all of 26 counties, and I had my main office in Wichita Falls, and then we had offices in both Sherman and in Abilene. Forgot to silence my phone. Sorry about that. Um, I got a phone call about 5 a.m. and it was from our office manager, and she'd let me know that the senator had passed away a couple hours before, middle of the night. So I jumped in. I had to put my morning on hold, even though I was definitely in mourning. I was in the office by 6, had a press release out to the local media and statewide media by 6:30. Now the rest of the day was just a blur of live interviews, recorded interviews, phone calls, condolence calls, visits from constituents, other dignitaries. Finally got home about 8 o'clock. My last interview was actually in the car on the way home. Um, and the whirlwind didn't stop on that day. I mean, it was several days, you know, really through the end of his funeral. And it was really only then that I was able to take some time to actually mourn his loss. I mean, he was not only my boss, but he was also my friend. Now, in Texas, a vacancy in the Senate is determined by a special election, and since there was no guarantee whoever the new senator was going to be was going to hire any of the staff, I got busy and found a new position, and it required me to move 5 hours away. And that's how I ended up in Austin. Now, 6 months later, I finally got my wife and sons down here. So imagine that. I'm driving back and forth between Wichita Falls and Austin every weekend for 6 months. Yeah, it was as much fun. Um, it was also very challenging because just a few months after the senator died, but before I started my new job, was when the planes hit on 9/11. And then the real estate market just went completely into the dumper and all but dried up. Took us, actually ended up taking us 17 months to sell our house, but that's another story. Um, but, you know, got my wife and kids here about 6 months later, and, you know, we've been here ever since. So back to Damon's question. A lot of things have happened in my life that were beyond my control. And I bet all of you can say the same thing. What is within our control is how we respond to those things. You can either curl up in a ball and, you know, sit in a dark room and, you know, feel sorry for yourself or whatever, or you can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and as the song says, start all over again. So that's what I chose to do, and that's what I encourage all of you to do. Thank you for listening to this Red Mic message today. And if you'd like to hear more, there are plenty of them. There's a lot of videos, a lot of reels. Just look for those tabs there on your Facebook page. If you found this message helpful at all, I'd appreciate a like, a follow, and a share. I hope you have a great weekend. And if you're in eclipse area Monday, protect your eyes. And unless the eclipse or sunspots or any other things cause issues, I'll see you again back here Monday, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. And again, thanks again for listening to this Red Mic message. And again, like, follow, share. Y'all have a good weekend.